our land, there's a one-man band that is to his look for you. Fly with me, we're gonna take off into the blue.
Hi, everybody. We just arrived at Frank Sinatra's birthday party at Patsy's, the original, in the theater district, and the people are pouring in. The salads are... Hi, Sal! Sal, our chef, is here. It's a family-owned business for many generations, and we're really going to have a ball here. And these folks come from all over the country to celebrate Frank Sinatra. We'll get lots of pictures and lots of interviews, and this is going to be really fun. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to You Are What You Read, a very special episode, as we used to say in the sitcom world. Except in this one, you're not going to... There's no painful lesson to impart, just a celebration of our great American artist, Frank Sinatra.
Nice and easy, the one every time.
About Stephen Magno, give it up for Stephen! He's incredible! Oh, I am so happy to be in a room with my people. I'm very relieved. And I can include my friends from Greece in that, because I'm told there was an S on our name 18 centuries ago, so I'm also honored. Not so much a Texan, but I love Texas too. Happy you're here. The other thing about this room, it appears that everybody's talking to each other, so it's not like my wedding. We have a thing called the island. You know about the island? The island is where we send people when we're not talking to them. Oh, and this is the best time of year for the island, isn't it? You save a lot on gifts. No, we love each other, don't we? We don't hold grudges. That's right. We don't hold grudges. Thank God, because the Irish marry in and they put an end to that. Do you have any Irish girls here who married Italians? Oh, our deepest sympathy. You should have called us.
My daughter married a McCarthy. I had to change my whole routine.
You did? I bet you did.
I married the Irishman.
And you married the Irishman. I know. Yeah, you gave me an earful on the way in about him. She's crazy about you. Why does he look Italian?
Good practice.
And years of with you. Yeah, it's beautiful. We have some special guest stars here, which is what makes this lunch so divine. First of all, and it fills me with such joy that we get two incredible people here. And I'm going to start with friends of the family of Mr. Frank Sinatra, Steve Lawrence and Eydie Gorme. Their son is here, and I'd like him to come up. Come up, yeah, David. David, this is, I try to explain to David, this is like basically a free-for-all, but the minute you see his face, you see Steve and you see Eydie combined. Okay, now here's the thing about our special guest, is that the next generation is so talented. He's so brilliant as a writer, a composer, an orchestrator. And, it's a thrill for you to be, for us to have you here, because not only do we see your parents, and listen, it's that time of year where we miss our parents.
Absolutely.
It's really rough. Here, you take the mic.
No.
Oh,
Go for it.
I know, we're getting emotional, but this is the time of year when we have the memories, and we think about them, and they're with us like every second. We'll hear a piece of music, we'll hear Stephen sing, we start crying, and we have this sense of connection through the generations. Because look, a lot of people here were not born when Frank and your parents were popular. And then there are folks that do remember them from places like the Ed Sullivan Show. Or when they went to Vegas and they saw the acts. And I can raise my hand because I saw your parents at Carnegie Hall in the 1980s, like 1986.
81 and 83.
It was 83 then?
Yeah.
At Carnegie Hall. Okay. That's with my uncle and my aunts, and they all came in their fur coats, and I had to arrange the tickets. So I went to Carnegie Hall and got the tickets, and we had a box.
Upstairs,
So upstairs and close to the stage, and I mean, your parents like blew me away, and my aunts and uncles were in their glory. Okay, like Steve and Eydie were everything to them, and because of that, they became everything to me. So I'm really, really thrilled you're here, and I would love if you would tell one story. One of the things that I love, and we'll bring up our next guest star in a moment. One of the things I love about your families is that you stay connected. Like you guys get together and it's no stopping you. So there was something. It's like extended cousins. It's like this beautiful thing. Okay, can you tell us about it?
In what? There's many avenues into this.
I know there's many avenues in it. Okay, so let's talk about how your parents worked with Frank and appeared with him and how you got to know the family.
Sure. I think my mom was one of Frank's favorites in the 50s when my mom was starting to make a name for herself. And I have actual footage and photos of them when her mom was very, very young, ingenue, and Frank is just looking at her beaming with her because of her talent. And then, of course, my dad enters the scene a few years later after the Steve Allen show and just takes over the entire room with his charm, his comedy, and they had been friends basically ever since the late 60s. I remember growing up as a kid, oh God, this is horrible, but hopefully you'll appreciate this. We would fly on Frank's jet to Vegas from LA because his pilot was waiting for us to come to do the show, and I remember in the mid to late 60s, one of my favorite memories back then, I was born in 1960, and Las Vegas was still 9 hotels, and the Sands was 8 stories tall, and that was the giant hotel back in those days. Run by the mob, and could not be run better, as far as I'm concerned. Seriously, no joke, and people were dressed like this during the day and at night in tie and tails. It was just an elegant, elegant era. And I remember one time, my dad had laryngitis, and it was during the Christmas season, and my brother and I we were staying at the presidential suite at the Sands. My parents had a 6-week run, and my dad couldn't sing. So my mom did the first 4 weeks until Dad's voice got better. And I did the dinner and late show with my mom. I did a 15-minute set with my mom. And then after the 15-minute set, Frank would come. And he would do half the show with my mom, and then Sammy would come, and then Dean would come. And it was an era of respect and camaraderie that I will never, ever, ever, ever forget. And then, all of them have been sort of like this ever since, and now they're all like this upstairs. So I have incredible memories of that era, and then through their entire lives. It's hard to describe that sort of experience as a second-generation person, and especially as a second-generation person who was taught to appreciate and respect what came before you. So I have nothing but awe and respect for that period of time and that kind of talent. So I hope that helps. I hope that.
Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful! Isn't it reassuring in this weary world? I feel very reassured. And I think everybody here can appreciate your nod to them in heaven, because they're definitely there. And we're all heading in that direction, one hopes. I mean, sooner or later, but maybe not, I don't know. But that's really beautiful. You see, it was a family feeling in those days. And the word respect is really a beautiful one. People don't use it anymore. You really don't. So there I was a few years ago. I had a subscription to a magazine called Vanity Fair. I still do. Here comes the pasta. It's so good here. Enjoy it. And I read an article. It's written by our next guest, AJ. And it's about her grandmother, who is Nancy Sinatra Sr., and her mother is Nancy Sinatra Jr., and her grandpa is Frank Sinatra. Could you come up, AJ? And you're going to see again the face. You're going to go, oh my God. You'll see the generation here. Ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome, please, for A.J. Lambert. Frank Sinatra. So, A.J., this could go in so many directions, but let's just start with your favorite memory of your grandpa.
I get this a lot.
Okay, that's the worst question.
But this room in particular, so you're safe, because at least here there is a really specific thing, because this is where, when I was a kid, you know, I grew up in LA,
Yeah.
but when I used to come here, this is obviously a very special place to my family, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is where they would have the dinners and stuff. As I recall, and I might need
The
you to
doors,
help me,
Yeah.
I think the table was back there.
Right behind the curtain.
Yes, okay.
Very little's changed. Just
So
the
it was a
paint.
little, oh, hi. Yeah, it was back there, and this like wasn't this was something else.
There was a fountain here.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I was very young, I don't remember that part, but I guess there was a fountain. So, yeah, so this place has a lot of really happy memories for
Do
me.
you remember coming up that doorway?
Well, it's funny you say that, because my daughter is the only one who knows about that, and I didn't know about that entrance, but she knows all about it because Lisa showed her one day and I didn't know about it.
I love that. I love that. You know, it's an incredible family, and we want you to give your mother our love. It's an incredible family. They're very close, much like all of your families. And we always look to you. So this is really special to have met you in person. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I don't want to go, I would like to introduce Miranda. Hey, Birch. Miranda, you want to come up and say hi to everybody? This is AJ's daughter, Miranda. Beautiful. And, okay, you want to tell us one memory about your mom?
My mom? I don't know this woman. I do have a good Frank Patsy story.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, so this isn't mine, obviously, but there was, so one night, it was when the Yankees and the Dodgers were playing, and he was a Dodgers fan, right? Okay, well, anyway. And he came here, and the Dodgers lost, right? Or is it?
Yes.
Okay, the Dodgers lost. And he came here because he was really sad, and he was like, oh God, the Dodgers lost. Sad, but anyway, so they were like this, like, he hears this, like, and he's like, what's going on? And it's what was his name? What's the guy's name?
Billy Martin.
Yeah, you should help tell the story. I think it's a good story. Yeah, Billy Martin was there.
If you want me to help. Hello, everyone. I got to share this story with Miranda last time she was
good.
here.
I love it.
And she wasn't as familiar with it. Some of you may know because it's in Chester's book. But as you were saying, it was when the Dodgers and the Yankees were in the World Series. I believe it was 76. Don't quote me on the year.
What's it, 76?
Say better baseball fans than me. I stick to football. But anyways, long story short, the Yankees won, and they came to Patsy's to celebrate. But lo and behold, Mr. Sinatra was having a party here as well. And at the time, he was seated behind the curtain, and Billy Martin was very inquisitive as who could be back there. We just won the World Series.
And he wants to know.
He wants to know who it is, why aren't we there, so on and so forth.
Who's better than me at
Yes.
this point in my life?
At this moment.
At this moment, there's no one better than me. My team just won.
We're on top.
Yeah, we're on top
of the world. And long story short, as he was screaming and questioning, because Billy Martin was known to be very passionate, Mr. Sinatra happened to walk past, and he didn't have anything to say. And then later on, he wanted to be introduced, so he was shown over, and Mr. Sinatra was gracious and said, please, I'm very tired, I just flew from LA, I'll just say hi to him. And the whole Yankee team jumped up, and they went one by one to say hi. And Mr. Sinatra was very gracious. He shook all of their hands, went back to dinner. They went back to their celebration. And then at the end of the night, the Yankees finished first, but they didn't want to leave before Mr. Sinatra, so they waited for him to go. And then he left, and then they called over Joe, who was here at the time as well, for the check. And he said to them, Mr. Sinatra took care of the whole thing. And I got to share that story with Miranda last time. So, if she wants to add anything else that you remember, go
I think
ahead.
that's pretty much it. But, yeah.
Thank you for joining us, everyone. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Frank. Oh my gosh, I love that. You know, people have a lot of ideas about why Frank Sinatra became the phenomenon that he was. But this isn't often talked about, and I think that you will appreciate this. It was the first time in the history of pop music really, that a working class kid sang for working class kids. Music before Frank Sinatra was fancy. It was rarefied. Even the opera, although we have Enrico Caruso's recordings, even that was considered sort of out of touch for working people. So our grandparents, great-grandparents, our parents, when Sinatra came in, it opened up the world because it was one of our own that made it. And I imagine in each person that's here today, you're thinking about that, why he matters to you. You can see that he was also a dad, a grandpa, a friend, a really great guy, generous, many stories. And Sal's going to be out later to talk about that a little bit. But, you know, I wanted to have some fun here today because, you know, when there are the Italians, there have to be giveaways. Okay? There have to be, raffle, you know, bingo's an Italian word, raffle, you know. So I thought we would start with this. I'd like to find the person in the room whose birthday is closest to Frank Sinatra's. So is anybody born today? Oh, back there. What's your birthday, babe? Monday, which is what? The 15th. Okay, that's close. Yes? Sir?
Sinatra from Boston, the 8th, my father, the 10th, so I feel very devoted.
Well, you're very in there, but I think you're off by a day, and she's still the front runner. Is that okay with you? Okay, yes?
Absolutely.
My son's birthday is tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Well, that's close, but is he here? I think we can send you home with a loaf of bread. Okay, anybody else?
My wife's
December 12th, your dad? Wow. Okay, but he's in heaven, right? Okay. All right, close, but not here in the room.
They're not here right now.
All right, so do you know what? Let's keep the rules clear. It should be somebody who's in the actual room. Oh, so in honor of you as the closest birthday, what's your name, my friend? You are getting a copy of Italian Snacking by Anna Francese Goss, who happens to be in the room. Can you stand up, Anna Francese Goss? Oh, don't you love to win something?
We're on the road to romance. That's safe to say. Oh, let's make all the stop so long away.
So I'm here with Lisa Scognamillo. Do I say your name right?
Yeah, and
How do you say it?
Scognamillo.
Okay,
It
that's
means
how I
one-
say it. Scognamillo.
It means 1 in a million, believe it or
Lisa
not.
Scognamillo, 1 in a million. Okay, but we're here at her restaurant. This is a family-owned restaurant. Sal's in the kitchen. You're out front. You've been doing this Frank Sinatra party for years. Why does Frank Sinatra matter?
Frank Sinatra matters because he has broad appeal to all different age groups. And also not only for his music and his phenomenal contributions to the arts, but he was a great philanthropist. And he was always very generous, but anonymous. He always wanted to be anonymous. And my husband can share stories with you later about
Can't wait.
his generosity And also with civil rights, he was way ahead of his time.
He was way ahead of his
way
time.
ahead for civil rights.
Yeah.
So he really was a very, very special person, going way beyond his music. You know, people know about his music and his legacy, but they don't know the private parts of him that were even more special.
How many people in the world on their 115th birthday would sell out a restaurant? I don't know anybody.
You know, I have people this year that came all the way from Greece to be here today. We always get people throughout the country, but there's a special couple that's here from Greece. They came all the way from Greece.
Well, you know, the Greeks and the Italians.
That's right. One of the same,
yeah,
right?
it's like a canoe ride.
Right. That's
so
right.
Close.
That's right.
Really, yeah.
We're very blessed. But we're so happy to have you today.
Oh my God, I'm
And
so happy.
This is history in the making.
Yes, it is. Thank you very much.
Summer wind came blowing in from across the sea. You lingered there to touch your hair and walk with me. All summer long we sang a song, then we strolled to the golden sand.
Getting the whole picture here about the close family connections that exist in this room, in our own families, and the families beyond, and what Sinatra has meant to us and continues to mean to us. But there's one man here who knows the story of how this restaurant and the Sinatras became friends and how they became family, really, as Mr. Sinatra came here and threw parties and had dinner parties and was always accommodated no matter the time, day or night. He's also your chef today. I adore him. He married Lisa. And the Scognamillo family is just, they're institutions in Manhattan, in New York City. And this luncheon means everything because it represents everything that they are. So with no further ado, the great Sal.
Thank you so much, Adriana. You're so sweet. A round of applause for Adriana. She's unbelievable. Her and my wife became best friends. My wife loves to read, and she's got, I don't know, 29 books? How many? How many books? 21, okay. But all great sellers. Some of them made into movies, actually. So a lot of fun, a lot of great stuff. We're blessed to have her. Please, a round of applause for Steve Mackley. He and his family have been so good to us all these years. And he does a great show. I think he told you about the Carnegie Club, which is literally 100 feet this way off the block. And he's been doing it 20 years now? 21. 21 years, and he does other shows. Check his website at the Cutting Room. The Cutting Room. It's called Not Just Sinatra. So he does such great shows. I've been there. Matter of fact, one time we catered the food from Patsy's there. It was a lot of fun.
That was my wedding. We got remarried.
That was your 40th anniversary, right? 40th anniversary. God bless his wife Debbie is a wonderful person. Great family, great family. We're so blessed to have them. And this really is what it's about. My grandparents started this restaurant, and it may sound a little quaint and a little corny to you, but they felt like this was their home with a bigger dining room and a bigger kitchen. Same recipes, same feeling of welcomeness. The way Italians we do. Through love. We express love through food, through music. We try and make people happy, and we're certainly so happy that everyone is here tonight. So my grandparents, how they first met, my grandfather was a waiter, a manager, many different restaurants. Then finally he opened his own restaurant in 1942 with a partner, And when he used to change from restaurant to restaurant, certain people followed him. And one of the people that followed my grandfather to the new restaurant that he was working at was Tommy Dorsey. And one day, Tommy Dorsey brought in Frank Sinatra and said to my grandfather, "Patsy, I got this skinny kid from Hoboken, you gotta fatten him up for us." And they became such great friends. If you look at some of the photos on the wall, I call it the 6 degrees of Frank Sinatra, because like Sinatra brought Jackie Gleason, who brought Tom Hanks. Sinatra brought my favorite, which was Rosemary Clooney, was my favorite, I loved her. And she brought her nephew George, who brought Julia Roberts. And it just goes on and on and on. Michael Bublé started coming here because he said, if it's good enough for Frank, it's good enough for me. Special thanks to Frank Sinatra's granddaughter is here, AJ, and her daughter Miranda. Special thanks, David Lawrence, his parents are Steve Lawrence and Eydie Gorme. Thank you so much for being part of this celebration. And in my first cookbook, there's a story about Steve Lawrence and Eydie Gorme having dinner here at one time, and I forgot exactly what it was. I think some alcohol was involved, but they were here with Frank Sinatra, and I think your mother threw a meatball at him or something. I don't know. Those are the days we wish we had these cell phones, right? You know, although we'd all be in trouble probably if we had cell phones like that. But such fun, such great things. As a matter of fact, Frank's great-granddaughter Miranda, last year she was here. And we know her since she's a baby, such a sweet kid. She made me cry. She called me over to the table. Sal, could you do me a favor? I said, sure, sweetheart, what can I do? Can you show me where my great-grandfather used to eat? Can you make the food like my great-grandfather? What a great kid. But the celebration, the love, the loyalty, so many people are here, our customers forever, some are new. We can't thank you enough. I know there's 12,000 restaurants in New York. We thank you so much for joining us all the time. We always are here to make you happy. I'm so blessed that I have my wife join me 11 years ago, who's the real boss, actually. Listen, she's a Sicilian and a lawyer, so I gotta sleep on my stomach all the time. And our son Joe, who ever since he could talk, he would talk about working at Patsy's. He didn't even want to go to college. We had to convince him to go to college. And we are blessed, our other child just became a doctor of psychology the other day. He wants to know why his parents are crazy. So, but I think we got a new job. You know, we figure we give him spaghetti and meatballs, then we put him on the couch. See what happens, right? One way or another. The love I feel in here for this restaurant, for Frank Sinatra especially. We remember him. So many great memories. I think 15, 20 years ago when we did this celebration, Frank's daughter Nancy, who's obviously AJ's mom, was here during that time, and she actually bought a drink for everyone in the house and saluted her father on the birthday. So, such wonderful memories, such great times. I can't thank everyone enough.
So I have a couple questions for Sal. My first question is, can you show us in the room how it worked? How did you get Frank Sinatra, ostensibly the most famous person in the world, upstairs to this room?
There's a separate entrance right where my wife is standing right there. And this is the front of the restaurant, and there's another door right there, and that door would lead up these steps. We'd open the curtains, you go here, and you go back in that section behind the curtains. The one thing he valued the most was his privacy, and we always made sure he was able to be himself when he was here. And I think that's one of the things he really appreciated about us.
Love that. Now I have another question. Would you share with us some of Frank Sinatra's favorite dishes? And if you get the cookbooks, you're going to learn about them, but I want Sal's.
If he would come in and just say, make some food for us, I mean, you know, that's what he'd say, just whatever you would want to make. You know, he likes to start off with artichokes, clams in a marinara sauce, but I remember whole garlic in and out, because he liked the flavor of the garlic, but he didn't want to eat the garlic. Like, I'm 63, it repeats on me too now, so I get it. He'd like arugula salad with tomatoes, and I remember it's red wine vinegar, not balsamic. And some type of short pasta, spirali or penna, and he liked the tomato basil with maybe some prosciutto in it, onions and prosciutto, tomato basil. And some of you had the veal and chicken Milanese was one of his favorites. he would really eat more or less anything, but if that was his standard meal when he came in, and I'll never forget the first time I had to cook for him, I was 22. My dad was the chef before me, and my grandfather Patsy was the chef. Only 3 chefs, 81 years, same family. And I buy from some of the same suppliers, believe it or not. And he was in the dining room with my dad, was sitting him down, Frank Sinatra, and Frank Sinatra saw my dad had a suit on. He said, "Joe, what are you doing? You gotta go in the kitchen and cook for me." He said, "Change into your whites." He says, "No, my son Sal's in the kitchen." He said, "Let me see him." I remember like yesterday, I was 22, I was cutting up an onion, and I hear the door swing open over there, and I looked up. He said, "Hey kid," I said, "Yes, Mr. Sinatra. Make sure you cook as good as your pop does." But he was doing it to make me feel good, because I was so nervous. The first time I met him, I was 13, and I opened that side door for him. My father gave me the key. I was shaking so much, I dropped the key on the floor. He said, "It's okay, kid, it's okay." But he was great. He was great. So many great things. He loved to have the time here because he knew, like, if anyone from the press would call up and want to know, well, who's Frank Sinatra with today? Who's he with? Who's he dating? Who's doing this? All that kind of stuff. My father would say, "Frank who?" You know, so he always would do that. As a matter of fact, someone wrote a book about him that wasn't too positive, the Kitty Kelly book back in the 80s. And my father, she asked my father, "I want you to tell me everything you know about Frank Sinatra." He took a check, ripped it up, and told her to get out. There you go. So, and what happened was she went to the paper. They reported it. It was in one of the gossip columnists. Reported, if you ever go to Patsy's, don't ask about Frank Sinatra, especially Joe Scognamillo, my father. 2 weeks later, Frank Sinatra came in, handed my father a piece of paper. He said, "Thanks, Joe." My father said, "Frank, you're the guy who told me you don't ever have to tell your friends thank you." It was the article that the woman wrote, so we appreciate it. It was so good to us, so good to us.
Oh my God. Well, that's loyalty, right?
Yes.
That's what we're made of. I can't think of a better way to kick off the holiday season than to be together in honor of the great Frank Sinatra, the man and his music and what he meant to us, and to be here at Patsy's 3 generations in, 4 generations in, because I'm bad at math, 4 generations in. And for anybody in this room, and we've all worked in a family business, so we know what we're talking about, that's a miracle. But it's a miracle because everything in that kitchen is made with love.
That's true.
So keep that in mind, you bitter women, when you're preparing the holiday season here. And you're cursing, and you're drunk, and you're mean. And I'm going to throw myself in that group, okay? More love.
That's great.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for being with us as a family. Oh, I love you more, baby. And we'll see you here next year for the Frank Sinatra 116th birthday party.
There was only one song we forgot to sing. Let's sing Happy Birthday to Frank. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Frank. Happy birthday to you. Start spreading